Hello, hello, and welcome back to another episode of Love It or Shove It. This is the talk show about the relationships, about love, about how do we navigate this realm better. And that's why we are having these powerful conversations to just bring the perspective and to see what is something that resonates with you in these talks. And if this is the first time you're tuning in, welcome. My name is Irina Portnova, and I'm all about manifestation. How do we manifest the best relationship? How do we manifest the love that we truly desire? And that's exactly what I help people to do. And I'm here with my co host, Bruno Gill. Bruno?
Yes, so my name is Bruno. I am a self-love coach for women. I help women become more confident, help them with their mindset, help them become more vocal about their desires and their how authentic they are, and yeah, just really getting that confidence and that self-esteem and that self-love, you know, worked up, I guess, and yeah, so you can conquer the world.
All right. And today we have a powerful conversation about connection without direction. And I love to talk about it because not everybody knows that interesting conversation and that interesting perspective. Because sometimes we can be in the relationship that connection feels undeniable, but nothing seems to move forward. The conversations are great, the chemistry is there, you enjoyed each other companies, you care deeply. Yet, months or even years later, you found yourself asking, where is this actually going? Because
Mm.
connection and direction are not the same thing. You can feel close to someone, you can love someone, you can enjoy being with someone, and
Mm.
still have a relationship that isn't moving forward because there is no shared future. And this is so important to really address because we are talking about having the similar vision, right? Not just imagining something and just talk about it, be emotionally in this world, but nothing is showing up in our physical world. So I think it's important to identify, understanding that there is a difference between connection and direction. And direction is more like knowing exactly what is something in the physical world people are creating together. How are they contributing to this relationship and what do they see in the future? And I think what also is important to have the agreement. What do I mean by agreement? Knowing exactly what is something that is non negotiable with the relationship, what is something that you are willing to give the time to grow through, and what is something that you are not going to not negotiate, right? So what are the standards? And it's so important to understand because a lot of times relationships are there, the love is there, the feelings are there, but couples don't really understand what it means to have the future direction and what it means to actually having the same vision, right? When people are moving in the same direction, and what it
Mm.
means to have the agreement in the relationship. So
Mm-hmm.
sometimes connection can feel real even when
Mm-hmm.
the relationship isn't moving forward. So, one
Mm.
of the biggest misconceptions in love is believing that strong feelings automatically mean a relationship in progress. And actually, it's not true because connection is about how you feel when you're together, but direction is about where you are going together. So, again, it's coming back to the point, yes, it can feel good to be in each other presence. People can laugh together, people can support each other, they genuinely can enjoy one another, but they never discuss the future plans, the living arrangements, the goals that they have, right? How they all see that together. And the earlier this can be spotted, the faster you can decide what is something you are willing to do going forward. All right, Bruno.
Mm. Uh, yeah. Again, I think, like, we mentioned we have mentioned a couple times throughout like a lot of episodes how important it is to develop a plan. And I see it everywhere. Every single couple I know that they have a plan for the future are couples who stay together because they stick to the plan they made. There is no excuses, there is no rearrangements, there's nothing. There's, okay, we've said we're going to do this, we wrote it down, we found the plan, we developed a strategy. And whether if it is for family, for traveling, for day-to-day life, for business, couples who stick to the plan are couples who end up getting it together, right? And sometimes the mood is not to stick to the plan, sometimes the mood is to do the opposite. But if you stick to the plan, eventually the rewards you'll get on the long term are going to be way better than whatever mood you're going to be able to satisfy um, on the short term. And yeah, I mean, it takes two people to tango, right? So it's both,
Mm-hmm.
it's both people that make the work, and it doesn't just rely on one person. It's not self-love, at least for now. It's just relationship that we're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
um and yeah, so yeah, so I think having a direction is very important, having a plan. um you could have the greatest ship alive, but if you don't know where you're heading, the ship has no purpose. And you know so yeah, having a direction is very important. And I feel like, having a direction is hard. you know Talking about where you're going to be and how you're going to be, that's easy and that's fun, because it makes you feel good about yourself, it makes you feel important, it makes you feel like you actually are someone in life, because you're not lonely and you're not alone. But the problem is when you have to do the stuff. And a lot of people sometimes they just want to talk about it. A lot of people sometimes they're not in love with having a direction, they're in love with the feeling they get by having someone they can actually say to each other that they have a direction. And then when it comes to doing the work, things fail. And they fail because people don't want to do the work, and people are like, oh, we tried. I recently saw a video online that said that trying is what we say to ourselves when we want to excuse ourselves for failing. You know, because one thing is trying, another thing is committing. And when you're committed, there's no such thing as trying. There's committing until it works, right? And that's what your life becomes, right? Um. So I think first of all, that it's a very good video. And I think again, I think if there was less trying and more commitment, direction, not it's not that direction will become easier, is that actually performing the steps that takes you in the direction of where you're headed. When you're committed, things become not easy to do, nor easy to perform, but they become easier to accept. You do it more willingly, you're more gladly to do it, right? You don't struggle so much with actually going out there and doing it, no matter how hard it is, because you're actually committed, right? So
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah, very well said. So I wanted to also add another point that, as you mentioned, the direction is a commitment, right? And if people have the plan, like you said, the way we do one area of our life, that's exactly how we do everything in our life. So if there is a plan, if there is a goal, if there is something that the couple is working towards, it's a completely different um, way of experiencing it, rather than just going through the motion and see whatever it's going to show up. And direction creates more security than feeling alone, because many people believe security comes from hearing "I love you," but true security comes from knowing we are heading somewhere together. Feelings can change from day to
Mm,
day, but direction creates stability. Again, when we have that anchor, when we know where we are heading, and that's very near and dear to me because I'm working with manifestation. No matter what we want in life, it's not going to be every day that we are waking up and just ready to do what we wanted. But if if we really desire something strongly, and if we committed to that, that's a difference between
mm,
commitment and entertainment, right? So feelings can change day
yeah,
from day, but direction creates stability. And just think
mm,
about two couples. One couple, they frequently express love and affection, but every conversation about the future gets avoided. And another couple,
mm,
they openly discuss the goals, they make plans, they navigate challenges together, they know what they are building. So now
mm,
we can look at both couples and see which one actually feels more secure, right? And usually it's the second one, because security isn't just emotional, it's practical. And again, we always keep saying that, like emotions alone can't do the entire right. We gotta be committed to something, and we
mm,
gotta understand our partner. And it's more about
mm,
listening, it's not about blaming the other person for whatever is happening. It's more about understanding, actively listening, thinking about how it can be changed to make sure that it's good for both people. And
mm,
another thing, what I realize about me, I'm truly done with adjusting to somebody's mood. It's like the person
mm,
has to meet me the way that I am. If I can be balanced throughout the entire time with the person, I want the
mm,
same from another person. So I
mm,
can be compassionate, I can be there for the person, but it doesn't mean that this is my partner. Because when I look at the
mm.
partner is somebody who actually does the things that I'm doing for the person.
Yeah.
So that's what, like another great clarity that comes with the time when you sit with yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Bruno, you want to add something to that?
Yeah. 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 I almost blew my back.
You
Jesus
okay?
Christ. No, yeah, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. No, 'cause I just came from the gym, so I was like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Yeah. Anyways, that doesn't matter. So yeah, of course, a partner is. I think now more than anything nowadays, I think effort speaks more than anything. Effort speaks more than sex. Effort speaks more than texting. Effort speaks more than kind and caring words. Effort speaks more than anything. Whatever other fucking examples exist. Um, and it's tough though. It's tough to put the effort, but then again, I think that's where true love comes. I think that's where true love shows up. Is where you put your emotional effort, your physical effort, your spiritual effort, your mental effort into something, and you only put effort into something that you give a shit. You care, so you put effort, right? Yeah, and that's the thing, because you ain't putting effort for people you don't know. You ain't putting effort for people you don't care. You ain't putting effort for people you don't like. You ain't putting effort for anything that you don't want to relate to and that you don't identify with, and that you don't have I guess, a connection with, right? um you care about what you connect to, you care about what you relate to, what you identify with, you care about the people that you like, that you love. um and I think that's, you know that by one simple metric, and for me it's effort and communication, right? Because I, for example, may have a day where I'm tired, but I put the effort. And I may have another day where I'd love to put the effort, but I'm actually so fucking tired that I literally just need to rest. So I'm going to communicate that to my partner. So my partner doesn't think I have a problem with her, right? Um, which is very important, because we cannot expect people to understand. So also putting effort into everything is effort in using the right words, effort in having patience, effort in going out with your partner, even when you don't want to. Effort in, like spending money on your partner, whether you want to or not, because you want to caress your partner. That doesn't mean that you have to spend like you have to buy like $500 or $1,000 in one go. What the fuck? Like that's not what it means. But taking your girlfriend out or your wife out, or buying her some stuff, or taking her out for a ride, or buying her some flowers, or buying her some chocolates, because it will make her happy. It won't make you happy. I don't give a shit about receiving flowers. What the fuck? Or chocolates. Like, if a girl gave me a fuck bro like flowers or chocolates, I'd be like, what? Or like, what the fuck are you doing? What? It's the other way around. It's the other way around. I don't give a shit. I don't care about goddamn flowers and fucking chocolates. It's like I don't care. But like for example, for me, I think for me, like I think when a man really loves a woman, he will do all those things because it makes him happy to see her happy. And I think that's when a man is really in love. A man is really in love when he's happy to see her happy because he provided that happiness. I think that's when a man is really in love. I think that's really when a man is in love. I think a man is in love, and I think a man is truly connected to his wife when he doesn't care about how much money he's spending on her. And again, it's not even about the paper or the quantity or the materialism. It's not even about that. It's just about that she's happy, he's happy. She's smiling, he's smiling, right? Like, for example, I had that for my mother. I understand it's a different love, right? It's a different love. A mother's love is different than a wife's love, right? But for example, I have that for my mother, right? And that's for me, that's the kind of level and the kind of love I want to also have. Not the same love, of course, but I want to be able to feel the same way with a different person like that as well, you know, which to be fair, I think that's what every single person desires, right?
Mhm.
So yeah, um, I think, yeah, I think nowadays it's all about effort. It's all about effort. It's all about effort. Yeah, there will be days where you're tired and you'll be exhausted. Like I'm emotionally exhausted today. And yesterday, to be fair as well. Um, and I can't wait for the weekend because I'm just so exhausted. But it's like if I had a girlfriend, or if I had a wife or whatever, and I wouldn't have a girlfriend or wife that I wouldn't be madly in love with anyways, or in love with, whatever. Um, I would probably put that effort in, right? And I'd probably, and I think that's what every single person has to do. But then again, your partner is also tired. Your partner is also exhausted, right? And so it goes both ways, right? It goes both ways. So, so yeah. Then again, I'm just speaking out of my ass now, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's also the ability to communicate because, it's also the way, the tone of the voice, the person says that they're
Exactly.
tired, and the way
The
how they
patient.
care about their partner. So everything
Yeah.
matters, right? Everything matters, especially when we are talking about women. We pay attention at everything. So yeah,
Everything.
effort
Fucking
effort is very much,
like.
needed and appreciated. So let's talk about why people stay attached to potential instead of paying attention to reality. Because potential might feel good, but reality requires honesty. And many people stay in relationships because of what they believe could happen someday. They tell themselves once they're ready, once work settles down, once they heal, once their timing is better. And meanwhile, reality is showing them something very different because reality is asking, what is happening now? And potential
Mm.
focus on promises. And reality focuses on patterns. If someone has avoided commitment for 3 years, the question isn't what they might do someday. The question is, what have they consistently shown you? Because healthy
Mm.
relationships are built on evidence, not just imagination. And potential can inspire hope, but reality provides the clarity. And
Mm.
that's why shared vision matters more than chemistry. because chemistry gets relationships started, but shared vision helps them last. When two people can have incredible attraction and still want completely different lives, that exactly where you see that no matter what kind of chemistry happens, they have fundamentally different visions. And when we talk about shared vision means asking, what are we creating together? What matters most to us? What kind of life do we want? How do we define partnership? These are super important questions because lasting relationships are not built solely on attraction. They are built on alignment because chemistry just gives that spark, but shared vision creates a future. And when people are in healthy relationships, they naturally create that movement. Healthy relationships don't stay frozen, they evolve. Movement doesn't mean rushing, it means growth. Over time, healthy relationships naturally create deeper trust, better communication, stronger commitment, more shared experiences, greater emotional safety, a clear vision of the future. So the relationship develops because two people are participating in its growth. So there is no need to force that movement. You don't have to drag someone forward. When two people genuinely want to build together, progress naturally happens. And whatever it is resonating, what does the progress really mean for each listener? That is the question for you to ask. And I know these are very, like deep topics, and I know that they might, like bring something forward that we might not like, but that's exactly why we are having these conversations, because these conversations are super important. Because if we are not asking ourselves, how can we know what exactly is for us? How can we know that the person we are in is the one? How can we know that this is the relationship worthy of staying in? Bruno, you want to add something before we wrap up?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. So we need to, obviously, as a couple, obviously, couples, right? As couples, people need to again have the plan, have the direction, connect through the direction. No, it's not just connect emotionally; it's also connect with the vision, right? For me, it's connecting with the vision just as much as you're connecting emotionally. Know that obviously, you guys are going together somewhere, right? It's almost like taking a trip, right? So you get the plane, you have your fun, right? And that's it. And you're together, right? And you have each other. And I think that's the most important thing, right? You make the choice to build together. You make the choice to have something good and fun, and you have the choice to have something nice, and you have the choice to do it together, right? Instead of just doing it on your own, which is boring and shit. Um, but yeah, I mean, I guess connection without directions, connection without direction ends up becoming entertainment, right? That's what it is. It's almost like you have all this connection, you have all this life inside of you, both. And if you don't put that life somewhere else, it just dies inside of you. It's the same thing with connection, right? If you don't put that connection into the direction, that connection dies. There's nothing there to feed off. There's nothing there for the relationship to feed off itself. There's no why. It's just there. Like you fuck a bunch of times, maybe for 6 months, and then what? Like that's what you do all the time. You just fuck. Like you just have sex. Like you don't do anything else. You don't talk about the future. You don't talk about your emotions. You don't talk about where you want to be. Like is it a relationship, or you guys just like fucking using each other to forget how miserable your fucking lives are? But then again, it's not attack to anybody individually. I'm just saying this, like this. It's pretty much a lot of times the same thing every single time. Like, so, yeah, have the plan. I think having the plan is very important, like just knowing where you want to be. And I think that should be done right in the beginning when you start something. Where you want to be, where you're headed, how do you want to do this, how would you do it, like, yeah. And I think it's fun, and I think it's interesting, getting to know a person, getting to know if it's serious or not. I think it's fantastic. Yeah.
Okay, I'm just gonna wrap up, and I just wanted to say that we are not here knowing it all. We are not here to say, like that everything is perfect in our lives. That's why we are talking about these things, because when we are talking through, we are also tapping into something, right? Another way of realizing something, another way of clarity that drops. And it just, like for all of us to understand that this is the growth, this is the process, this is the evolution. But
Mm,
just to wrap it up, that connection is beautiful, but connection alone is not a relationship plan. At some point,
mm-hmm,
every couple must ask themselves, do we simply enjoy each other, or are we building something together?
mm,
Because chemistry creates the attraction, connection creates the closeness, but
mm,
direction creates the future. And the
mm,
strongest relationships aren't just connected, they are moving in the same direction. All
mm-hmm.
right. If you like this episode, please share. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Share it with somebody who you think might benefit, because you never know who might be looking for this kind of information. And again, we are
Yeah.
open for any topics. If you have any topics you want us to cover, we will be happy to do so. Connect, and let's just continue creating that love experience that we all can enjoy. Thank you so much, and we'll see you on the next episode. Bye.